Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Braidednikki. I'm back with a new braid tutorial. Please forgive me for being gone for so long. This 2020 pandemic definitely had me on a roller coaster ride. Okay, so today I'm showing you 3 different hand placement techniques that you can use to achieve feeding braids. So as you can see, I have put aside 8 pieces of hair that start off small and then they gradually get slightly bigger. I'll go into detail about that later, but for now, I want you to go ahead and create a starting part like this one. Once you've done that, grab your 3 equal strands and start braiding down while grabbing each side, as I explained in lesson 5. At this point, I want you to grab a hair strand that is equal or smaller in size to the strands that you're holding. I'm going to go ahead and hook the strand underneath my pointing finger to hold, and then wrap my left hand around that left strand to hold it away as I continue to cornrow down everything else until I get to the end. It's important to know that as you go down, the strands that you pick up from your braid rack should be the same size as each strand that you're braiding with to prevent lumps or an uneven finish. Please keep in mind and remember that as you're braiding down, you want to make sure that you are straightening the hair or each strand out with either your fingers, like how I'm doing it, or you can use a comb or a brush just to make sure that you don't get any lumps or tangles as you're braiding. For visual learners, continue to watch as I braid all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so as we're nearing the end, I want you to keep in mind that you should never add a hair extension at the very bottom. You should add it in right before you get to the bottom. So it shouldn't be your last strand or the last hair at the bottom. It should be like the second last so that there's no bump. So I'm gonna put that in there now. And then I go ahead and keep on braiding it down. And then here is where you want to flip your hands upward like so. So I flip it up and then I braid it once, and then I flip the other, and then I start braiding it in an upward motion like how I'm doing it now. That's gonna make sure that there's no bumps where the cornrow ends. So you're gonna go ahead and braid her down. I'm not going to braid all the way down, so I'll stop here and show you technique 2. Technique 2 I find to be a little bit more tricky for a beginner, but if you follow along, you should be able to get it. So I'm braiding in my 3 pieces, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my strand that matches the same size. The difference here is that instead of keeping the left strand out while I braid, I'm actually keeping it in and braiding it down as I go. With this technique, to get it to look right, you need to make sure that your grip is tight enough so that the left strand doesn't leave a bulk or try to slip out as you're braiding. So follow along with me as I go down. I'm sorry, y'all. My hair started to cover up the whole entire screen, so I had to cut that last part out. But as you can see, this is the finishing result of how it looks like when you use technique 2. What do you guys think so far? Which is your favorite, the first technique or the second technique? Let me know in the comments below. This hand placement method is similar to technique number 1. The difference is that once you start your beginning part, you only need to braid down twice, and then you can add in your strand that matches the strand that you're working with. Once you add in that strand, the left strand is then put to the side instead of you having to hold it. Some people prefer holding it because it gives them a tighter grip for the braid. Some people prefer to keep it to the side so that it's not in the way. And I do know that some people complain about their fingers hurting them with technique 1. Once you get the hang of the hand placement method for technique 3, you just want to braid it all the way down till you get to the bottom. Don't forget to let me know in the comments below if you tried all these techniques and which one is your favorite on your hand. Everybody's hand is different and everybody has their more comfortable technique that works for them. So if you've tried this along with me on your mannequin, on a friend or a family member, let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. The rule is always the same once you get to the very bottom. You want to make sure that you are not adding any hair at the very last row. You want to make sure that you're adding it at least at the second last row or possibly the third last row. You just don't want to add any hair at the very bottom because again, that will cause your braid to look bulky at the end of your cornrow. And we don't want that look because it's not cute. I'm also doing the hand flip to make sure that I'm decreasing the chances of the bottom having a bump. And then you just go ahead and braid her down. So, what you think? Which one's your favorite technique? P.S. If you are a beginner braider and you want more tips and tutorials, you should follow my Instagram page at Braiders Hustle Inc. I've got business tips and tutorials that you might love. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you soon with another braid tutorial.